Hello, all. One of the discussion topics last week was about buying a condominium versus the single family homes, and we wanted to see the differences. We mentioned that buying condominiums usually costs less. Therefore, it comes with somewhat affordability at the beginning. But we will talk about later about home association fee and other costs. But for now, we know that usually you need less down payment for condominium as opposed to single family homes. And also it says those looking for to downsize. Let's say a family, wife and husband, have lived in a house for 50 years and now they are 80 years old. Therefore, it makes sense for them to move to an apartment. And also for them and for everybody else, the maintenance of outside of the building is apartment is very easy. Grasses for you to cut. You have some people who do that for you, and many other things, Christmas decoration outside and everything. Homeowners association, this is a major headache, I would say, that for condominiums, and that is the money that you have to pay every month, usually, in addition to other fees that you have. Other fees that you have are about taxes, are about the insurance of the property, and of course, on top of that, the mortgage. And let's not forget, there might be two insurances. One is for the property insurance, and the other one is some people have mortgage insurance. Those who put less than 20%, they put 10% down payment for their house, they have to buy, PMI insurance. That's a kind of additional, cost. Therefore, you have to calculate this one. You already have you are somewhat familiar with the calculation. You can use that calculator to put this one and add this home association. Look at it as a mortgage. Look at it as, adds it. And maybe we talk about it when we show you one of the calculators. Of course, you don't have any problem with this cost with the landscaping. And also some, apartments come with swimming pool, fitness centers. Of course, this cost also adds to your home association fees. But something about, let's say, if you have a fitness center in the apartment, you do not need to become a member of the gym. And it is right in your house. It's good for your health. As soon as you decide, you just walk downstairs or the elevators and you are right there. Community lounges, that means that there are other tenants who come to those areas. You can go there, play cards, play other things. Therefore, you will be entertained if you want to have a social life. And and they are usually, these types of apartments are usually in the urban areas. And of course, one of the great features are security measures, and you have surveillance, gated communities, you have personnel on site. Therefore, these are some great features of apartments. And renovations of the buildings, sometimes outside, are the responsibilities of the association. And also the issues come with it is that the challenges is that pet ownership. Somehow you like to have, if you have your own house, you can have your pet. But here there are some restrictions. You want to catch the elevator, you don't want the person to bring his or her cat you are scared of cat in the elevator. There are other issues. And also we have the issues related to noise as well. As you all know, some of the buildings, are not that great in, insulating the noise. And there are, less predictable, as it said. I copied this from one of the students who had posted. It is, less predictable means that suddenly some major equipment or something goes, something happens, and then suddenly, the government comes and complains about the roads and, in the building or parking or something. Therefore, suddenly unexpected costs, come there, where you will face up unexpected costs. And a potential for appreciation and depreciation. Usually the apartments don't go up as fast as single family homes, don't appreciate as much. Of course, in urban areas, it might be a kind of way different, but in, for rural areas, somewhere outside cities, and, the possibility of appreciation of a single family home is greater than the possibility of appreciation of condominium. And as Olive, we said, privacy issues also might be a concern. And fighting with your neighbors, he took came, she parked where you wanted to park, and therefore there are issues that you will run into conflict with neighbors, and with the management might arise. You had a guest, they didn't let him come to the building at night. You are upset, and many of those issues can happen. And owners might be subject to additional fees and potential financial restraints. Therefore, these are the pros and cons of having a condominium. And here are benefits of single family homes. You have more privacy and you have more space. You want to have your own, garage, your own, storage. You go outside and you have your own storage, which means you own land. You want to plant tomatoes or something, that allows you, hopefully, to do that. And then you have greater freedom and customization. You want to change the color of your door, you may, but in condominiums, they might not allow you, to have your own color, or, go to the balcony, and in the balcony you hang, your clothes or something. They won't allow you to do that. Therefore, you have more, freedom. And you have potential for appreciation, the possibility of home goings up, houses going up, single family homes, is greater. No home association fee compared to apartments, and that is a very great advantage. Imagine that if an apartment, if you go to New York, home association, you own the apartment, but every month you have to pay. Well, your two-bedroom apartments, you have to pay $2,000 suddenly every month just for homeowners association fee. And sometimes the smaller the number of units in the building, sometimes the homeowners association fee goes up. In some cases, let's say you need a security guard. If you have an apartment with 300 residents, 300, a building with 300 residents. Therefore, the expense of that security guard is being distributed between 300, apartments. However, if the same building has 10 apartments and you want to have a security guard 24 hours a day, which means that you have to have 4 employees hired, 4 security people, one, from, 8 to 2 to 10 to 6 a.m. and on the weekends. And then suddenly those 10 apartment owners have to pay for, 4 employees. That means that each one of them have to pay for the expense of almost, if you say 5 employees, each 2 apartment has to hire a full-time, pay for the full-time employee. You know how much that's going to cost. Then you want to have an engineer, want to have landscapers, all those can add up. Therefore, you have to use those financial calculators to see if it is beneficial to own a house, single family home, or to own, and also when you buy a house, when you buy an apartment, to break even sometimes, if you buy it today and you decide to sell it the next year, most likely you end up losing $5,000, $8,000, $10,000. For you to break even, sometimes I heard you have to wait at least 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, depending on whether houses go up and down. And then after that, you start making, a little money. And I read somewhere that, the investment in the real estate, of course, we are now talking about the, condominiums versus houses. But in terms of investment, I read it in Fisher, investment company, that I think they said that, maybe the real estate is something between keeping cash, because if you have a cash, you put your cash maybe in saving accounts and get 2%. If you put it in the stock market, on average, you might get 10% a year. Think about real estate at somewhere between. Between means that maybe you are getting an appreciation on average, 4%, 5% a year. Therefore, but you have to, know about issues that if you are renting, of course, the landlord can increase your rent over the next 30 years. If you have your your mortgage, that mortgage, if it is a fixed mortgage, you know that for the next 30 years is going to be fixed. However, in the homeowners association fees, as you know, it can usually appreciates. They say that when usually a building is a kind of older building, the home association fee is little bit greater. It is just like a car, which is, they say that used cars, sometimes you have to spend more money on repair of the car than when you buy a brand new car. A brand new car for 2 years, you might not need any kind of repair or something. But therefore, these are the issues. Outdoor space, when you have a property, you have an outdoor space, and storage and parking, which is great. Those are additional and benefits of buying condo. We will already talked, maintenance, lower maintenance, and they come usually with amenities and lower initial cost, urban living, security, simple lifestyle. Therefore, as I said, whether which one is better, it all depends on you, that how much you know about personal finance, about the real estate. And for some people, might renting might be an option. Doesn't mean necessarily we always like to be homeowners, which is great. That's, they say, American dreams, that people love to have houses, which is a great idea to have. But for some people, it is better not to have and better to rent, and depends on particularly the people who are constantly on the move. We have seen people that suddenly, I have seen people coming to Moorfield, even coming to the college to teach. We had one instructor came to the college to teach for 2 years, and he bought a house, and then after 2 years, suddenly he found another job, had to sell his house. Most likely in cases like this, the people, lose money. Usually, if you decide to settle somewhere, maybe that's when you are thinking about buying a house, because when you buy it, you want to keep it at least 4, 5, 8, 10 years at least. Then you will see, the benefits. Therefore, and also it is always good to have a good real estate agent, as you all know, and understand. Maybe we get the chance and talk about other things, about appraising, about how to get the loan, where to get the loan, and those are the issues of other discussion.